Leonardo da Vinci once said, "Simplicity is the ultimate sophistication." Growing up, I was taught the same thing, except we just called it the KISS method. And that's how I've gone about building this gaming setup. Over the years, I've had some crazy setups, and the fact that this one's lasted the longest, I think, is no coincidence. The easier it is to sit down and play games, the more often I'm going to sit down and play games and enjoy it. As somebody who works from home, I find it really important to have two different setups, one for work and one for gaming, to kind of separate the two, even if that means sticking one in a corner somewhere. Now, obviously, I couldn't block my closet back there, which is where the sit-stand desk comes in handy. This is the E7 sit-stand desk from FlexiSpot with black legs and the black chipboard countertop. Although I don't ever really stand up in game, it's been really helpful to be able to raise and lower it to get into the closet better. In today's day and age, with the price of sit-stand desks going down as more come out, I think it's pretty safe to say that's your best bet if you're just building your first setup. One downside is it does require a little bit more work for cable management, but I think I've got that pretty down pat. I picked up these J channels off Amazon. Comes in a pack of 6. They're only like $15, I think. I'll drop the links for everything down below throughout the entire video. And then the key is to mount one of these power bricks underneath the desk. This will allow you to only have 2 wires going from the wall to the desk, one to power the desk and then one to power the power brick. And everything else can just be plugged in under there and tucked away in those J channels. Now you'll notice I still have one cable running into the closet. That's for the monitor, the G9 OLED. Now, I've talked about this thing ad nauseum. Those videos will be linked below, but quick summary, I think it looks incredible. The QD OLED 5120 by 1440p resolution is amazing for gaming. However, I personally had a lot of issues getting this thing set up properly and the image to look right, and that was kind of a pain in the ass. I still deal with some display stream compression where the screen will go black for about 3 seconds in the middle of a game if I'm really pushing up to that 240 Hertz. And mine has some really bad artifacting when using a DisplayPort 1.4 cable, so I have to use it via HDMI 2.1. So for those reasons, I don't really recommend this monitor unless you're dead set on getting a 32:9 aspect ratio OLED. You'd probably be better off with a 21:9 like the Alienware 34-inch. Or if you're not in the ultrawide market at all, there's some really great 27-inch 1440p's and some new 4K 32-inch OLEDs that are coming out as well. For peripherals, I'm currently using the Xtrfy K5 keyboard. Nothing special about this. It's honestly just the only other black keyboard I have other than my custom 80, which I keep over on my work setup. The keycaps on there are the Ski Data by Drop, and to match those, I've got the Lamzu Fanatic Thorn. I've been big into ergo mice lately. I was maining the Xlite V2 for a while, but then when I picked up this Thorn, I just absolutely fell in love. I didn't really like the coating on the Xlite. It felt a little bit too slippery for me, and this one is a really solid shape. I've been using it for about 5 months now. Still no creaking, no build issues. It does have a little bit of a hollow sound if you're really spamming mouse 1 or mouse 2, but nothing that's really going to bother you. And overall, really solid mouse, especially considering you get the 4K dongle included for only $100. That is sitting on top of the Pulsar Paracontrol mouse pad in large size. Now, I was using the Artisan Hayate O2 and it was a little bit too fast for me. I wanted some more stopping power, so I picked up this on a whim because it was only $20 on Amazon, and I became a huge fan of it. It's Pulsar's last generation of mouse pads. They have some new ones out now, but for only $20, I think this thing kind of flies under the radar considering a lot of other mouse pads out there around the $50 range. I think it's listed for $30, but there's usually a $10 off discount on Amazon. And yeah, I think it's pretty comparable to like an Artisan Zero Soft maybe, and for a fraction of the price. My only quarrel with this is the edges do get fringed pretty easily. I think it was like this after about 2 weeks. Not a huge deal while actually gaming. I don't really notice it. It's just something I can see when using like a macro lens to record videos. And all of that is sitting on top of the Reserve No Suede mouse pad. Not gonna lie, the price is pretty high on this, but it has lasted me over a year and it's a pretty premium product. It's not something I would recommend gaming with, but I do like the way it looks. It feels great under my keyboard hand and it hasn't shown any sign of use for, I think I've been using it over a year now. And that brings us to headphones. Now, I've acquired quite a bit of headphones over the past couple of years. Some open back, some closed back, even an IEM, but the ones that I go with 99% of the time when gaming over here are the Pulse Elite. Out of all my headphones, if I were to rate the sound, they're probably at the very bottom of the list, but it's the ease of use that makes me use them so often. Just being able to put these things on, plug in the receiver, get to gaming. When I'm done, I put them back on the hanger. They charge up so they're ready to game for the next night. I don't have to worry about anything. No wires running across the floor, no audio interface to deal with a microphone. I know it seems kind of ridiculous, but sometimes I just don't feel like putting in the extra 10 seconds to plug in a pair of headphones or run a microphone across my room. And the sound isn't horrible by any means. They're definitely doable. And a little added benefit is the fact that they connect to my iPad via Bluetooth, so when I'm waiting in between Overwatch matches or something, I can throw up a YouTube video on my iPad, and I don't have to take off the headset or switch sources or anything. It's simultaneous Bluetooth, so it just plays directly into the headset. But I guess that kind of brings us full circle. So if there is an overarching theme for this whole setup, that's pretty much it. Simple, functional, and easy to use. No frills or groundbreaking technology, just a simple setup where I can sit down and game. Because the easier it is for me to sit down and get into a game, the more often I'm going to sit down and do it. It shouldn't feel like a chore. Real quick, I always forget this one. The walnut wall slats are just some wood that I found at Home Depot and stained with some walnut stain, hung up with some nails. And the picture is just a print that I downloaded for like $1 off Etsy and printed out at Staples for like $20. On top of that, it's actually not charged right now, is a picture light. It charges via USB-C. I think that was like $20 as well, but it'll be down in the description if you're looking for it. Anyways, that is my super minimal gaming setup. Let me know if you have any questions, if I missed anything. Otherwise, appreciate y'all for stopping by, and I'll see you in the next one. Peace. All right, I know, I forgot the PC. That's because it's over here under my work from home setup. I ran two 10-foot cables over to the gaming setup so I don't have to move the PC back and forth, one for HDMI 2.1 for the monitor, and then one USB cable for the keyboard. If you have a setup like this or you're looking to build one where your PC is kind of far away from your peripherals, I recommend going with active cables over passive when it comes to DisplayPort or HDMI. Essentially, most normal HDMI and DisplayPort cables we use are passive. The current is just passively flowing through. Active cables have a signal booster in them, which makes the signal be able to go long distances without dropping out as easily. And the PC itself has an i7-13700K CPU, NVIDIA 3080 12GB for the graphics card, and I've got quite a bit of storage in here. I think altogether I've got like 4 terabytes of SSDs, some for gaming, some for work, and some for personal content. Those are slapped on an Asus Z790P Wi-Fi motherboard, and that's all stuffed inside this NZXT H5 Flow case. Now I think that's the end of the video. Thanks again for watching. If you have any questions, comments, creative criticisms, let me know in the comments. Otherwise, see you in the next one. Peace.